don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
Podcast.
Real news about real topics. That's what I like about this show.
Or mode for the most sincerest expression.
So it's truth and jest. I pride myself on saying real
What they
shit.
don't tell you podcast.
People don't even notice I'm saying.
I'm just using your gifts as a vehicle.
They can feel it, but I don't think they really know. But they feel it, because when people come up to me, they say it. I love
If
that.
I was looking for advice from people in the industry,
What
how
they
to
don't
not
tell
have to
you.
compromise.
Boy, it's hard to be woke. What they don't tell you podcast.
How do I do this without having to compromise who I am, what I represent, what I want to share, how I impart my gift? It's my real truth.
Is that even fucking possible? Am I allowed to say fucking? Bleep that out.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you
What they don't tell you.
podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of What They Don't Tell You podcast. We are your hosts, DJ Mifflin,
Keisha Williams,
and Keith Vance.
and we are the
B Squad.
That's right, BE standing for Black Entertainment, and we ask that you be excellent, be educated, and be encouraged, all right? Thank you for joining us on Live 365 Radio, Anthem Tongue Radio, that is, all right? So check it out. We got a thankful episode coming up for you.
What
Here
they
we
don't
go.
tell you.
What they don't tell you
What they don't tell you.
podcast.
All right, once again, we're at another segment of Thankful. This is a part of the show where we talk about what we're thankful for today. Today, I want to start off with you, Keith. Tell me a little bit about what you're thankful for today, man.
Hey, man, I just want to first off say I'm thankful that I've made it to be 38 years old.
What?
My
Oh, that's
birthday is tomorrow.
Yes,
I'll be
happy
38,
birthday,
y'all.
happy birthday.
Young,
B
yes.
Squad in the building. I know, being a black man, being in the world, how hard it is out here. A lot of people don't get to this age, man, but
Right.
I feel like I'm at my prime right now, and I'm just thankful that I get another year to keep bringing this energy that I got to the world.
That's right.
These laughs to these stages, and hopefully more information to our listeners, y'all.
That's
so
right.
you know what I'm saying? I also want to shout out to all of our new likes on Facebook. Everybody that's going and checking that page, I want to say thank you. We appreciate the B Squad. We appreciate the love, and I'm just thankful for all of that, man.
That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, man. All right, Miss Keisha, what you thankful for? Talk to us.
I'm just thankful right now for just having a creative space. Like, it just feels good to be able to just make something and have the time to do that.
Right.
Letting your mind really split between, like, the regular over and over of the day,
yeah, the way you said that, I
and
get it.
have something else to just push
Yeah,
forward with,
exactly.
Right.
Creative
she right.
space.
She right.
Exactly. Now that's a perfect thankful. I think I'm like that every day. Just thankful I can be able to do something. You know what I mean?
What about you, DJ? What
Well,
you thankful
today
for
I'm
this
thankful
week?
because my little man's here with me hanging out. He's in the studio with us today, so
Hey,
thankful he could come and see Daddy work. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just thankful for another weekend. You know what I mean? Another chance for me to spend time with my son because, in life these days, you don't know when you'll get another chance or if you have
Exactly.
another
Right.
day. So
Right.
Yep.
every time my son's with me, I'm just thankful for that.
Totally.
I'm
totally.
thankful
I
for
get
all
it.
the trials and tribulations that come with that.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, I'm thankful for that. But that's what we thankful for today, guys. So we appreciate you. Hey, listen, if you want to tell us what you're thankful for, man, just hit us up. All right, let us know. All right, but hold on tight. All right, Miss Keisha got that business for you coming up next. Stay tuned.
What they don't tell you
What they don't tell you.
podcast.
This is the Business with Keisha Williams.
This is Keisha Williams with Bee's Nest. Be enriched, be educated, and be excellent. So one of the stories that I've been following and paying more attention to, especially now that spending more time in the house, is that this is actually Mental Health Awareness Month.
Right.
So for people who don't know, mental health awareness began in the U.S. back in 1949 by the Mental Health America organization. So basically each year, the Mental Health Awareness organization is working to just help people know that things are happening all around you. So in 2018 and 2019, they've had different themes, but for 2018 and 2019, the theme was for fitness, for mind, and for body. So they were really focusing on, making sure that your body and your mind were in sync. I think a lot of people are trying to figure out now how to really keep that kind of balance.
Right.
Just
Right.
being in the house.
Definitely,
You know?
definitely. Is the mental health, is it just for just mental health, or is it for any like disabilities or like, Downs or
I
any
think
type
it's
of
anything that, like, any kind of mental illness and mental illness
bipolar
struggles that
stuff
you're
like
having.
that? Just
Absolutely.
okay.
And I was like, so it's not just, sometimes I need to take a mental break. People are getting on my, getting on my nerves. It's really being able to like filter things out and recognizing like what some of the adverse effects might be. So for instance, in 2017, they actually focused on the importance to educate people about the habits and behaviors that increase the risk of developing or making your mental illness worse.
Okay.
So signs of mental problems are usually like risky behavior. So
Right.
risky sex, prescription drug misuse, maybe there's internet addictions, excessive spending, maybe you're smoking weed a lot,
Right.
troublesome exercise patterns.
You sure about the smoking weed part?
I was,
You know I was gonna
I
say
tried
something.
to say it and act like...
Sure about smoking weed?
I
Like,
saw
'cause-
Key's face. I was like,
Yeah.
But no,
You
I
know
was
that
like,
wasn't
but you
gonna
know
go
what?
well
I was
with
like,
you.
especially now that there is marijuana usage for
Right.
like mental health reasons, for
Yes, it does.
medicinal
It really
reasons.
helps,
Like
yeah.
every day, some people you're walking around like this big ball of stress. Like you're
Right.
constantly
Yeah.
like just tight
Definitely.
wound because you're always thinking of the next thing you got to do, how much stuff you got to accomplish, what you didn't get, the checklist that you have in your mind. All of these things manifesting. Plus, if you got kids, plus if you got your parents in your house, your kids in your house, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your significant other, all of that weighing on you. When do you have the time to just
Smoke
chill?
that
And I
blunt.
think that's important too, because like it's important. You know how they talk about you have to prioritize your day. You also
Yeah.
got to prioritize your mind.
Yeah,
prioritize
definitely.
your health.
Well, I think a person's psyche is one of the most important
Yes.
things about,
Absolutely.
being out here. Your psyche and your mental health is one of the most important things.
Right.
So that foundation, that's a great thing. When did you say it started,
Yeah.
Keisha?
Actually, 1949.
Okay, that's
Wow.
dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah. So it's super crazy that we've had, not even super crazy, but I think it's really good that we've recognized that is an issue. But what's kind of sad is like some of the stigmas
Right.
that come with mental health.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
know, particularly in the Black community, there are a lot of people who are afraid. And I think men, a lot of times,
Definitely.
are
Yeah.
afraid to pursue the mental health that they need
But I
to
think
have
black
that
people
balance.
sometimes we tend to think that it's that's a problem going to seek help like that. It's considered to maybe be looked like maybe weak or frowned
Right.
upon just in the black community. Sometimes I don't think there's anything wrong.
No,
with
I've
seeking help. I think
actually
it's
had
great.
experience in dealing with having to speak to people about certain things, whether it be mental or just physical. And a lot of times when you have someone that doesn't come in judging or making you feel like some, or like they judge you or depict on what is right or wrong, when you have somebody that just listens, sometimes it's therapeutical. Just get it off. Therapeutic.
Yeah.
Just to get it
You were
off. You
close.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah.
For
I know,
sure.
But
we
that's
knew what you were
important,
trying to
yeah.
say.
Yeah.
We knew what you were trying to say.
For sure.
No, so the reason why I brought that up is in light of Mental Health Month. Taraji P. Henson has actually created a nonprofit. Now she's had the nonprofit for a little while now.
Okay.
She organized it in honor of her father, Boris Lawrence Henson, and it's called the Boris Lawrence Henson Foundation. So it's set up to really deal with the stigmas around mental health problems. And since she named it after her father, she had used that for him because he suffered from mental health challenges and as a result of serving in the Vietnam War. So anybody who knows any veterans or people who have served for the country,
Right.
it's not all that it's cracked up to be sometimes.
Okay.
And so what she's done is, one, there's going to be a 2-day mental health conference.
Okay.
That's going to be taking place next month in June. So
Right.
June 7th through the 9th. It's called Can We Talk? Literally just
okay.
a conference and a benefit
Right.
dinner just to allow people to come together. In my mind,
Yeah.
I'm not going to get an invitation, but I figure it's just sitting down and talking.
Right,
And I was
right.
like, I know that we all have our friends and family that we feel comfortable talking to, but sometimes it's good to just talk to somebody who is actually equipped
Yes.
to give you tools.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love
Got to,
her too.
man.
She's an excellent actress and a great person.
Right.
She's dope.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And we have to understand, like, when it comes to dealing with the psyche, we have to understand there's a lot of weapons out here. We don't realize it, but every day there's something, whether
Facts.
it's the time being cut short or the
Facts.
stuff we watch on TV or the the problems, everyday problems that are set right before us that we can't deal with road blockings or traffic, and these are all issues that we don't pay attention that cause issues in our health.
Stress. I mean, just added stress.
Yeah, man.
Stress
And I was like, a lot of the things that we've already talked about today are things that are going to be in the agenda. They're focusing on men's mental health, alternative healing, also the criminal justice system and the effects of mental health for that, as well as mental health needs of children in urban areas. So there's a whole lot of things that are going to be covered on the conference. And during the summit, they're also going to be introducing her foundation, You Got This, which is a campaign to literally raise $500,000 to provide free therapy to those who can't afford it.
That is absolutely
Ain't nothing
awesome.
better than free.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I was like, and some of us, I was like, now you ain't got no excuse to get right.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's a dope. That is a dope cause, and I'm all for that. I'm here for that for sure.
So that's been
Thank
me.
you, Taraji.
Yeah. Oh, her, me. Okay.
Well, I mean,
Well, thank you, Keisha, for informing us.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. So this has been Keisha Williams with Bee's Nest. Be educated, be enriched, and be excellent.
Thank you, Keisha. All right. All right, y'all. Stay tuned. Hot Topics up next.
Hey, listeners. Is there a topic that you want to hear from us? Something that you want us to talk about on the show? Well, send us an email at WTDTYglobal@gmail.com.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
Podcast.
All right, and we're back to the What They Don't Tell You podcast. Up with our hot topic of the day, Hollywood versus independence. Basically, this conversation is pretty much about, what's the outcome, say, if I choose to pursue Hollywood or if I choose to be an independent artist, right?
Right.
One, what are the pros and cons, right? The good and the bad of each side. What benefits do I have being independent versus going to work in an already established mainstream environment?
Okay.
And then also, what is the difference between the two? Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is the pros and cons. What do you guys think are the pros and the cons of choosing to be an independent artist or to actually be someone pursuing the Hollywood, say, circle?
Okay. So money. First and foremost, the money is going to be different.
Right.
And I was like, and with the money, it's interesting because there's always going to be a balance, right? So a lot of people are pursuing, whatever you're pursuing as a profession is with the whole purpose of making money.
Right.
But is money more important than being creative and being your own boss? I think that when it is independent, you are the person who is that whole creative mindset and you are working so hard as an entrepreneur to make all of that happen. But when you are talking about mainstream, you're just a cog in the wheel.
Yeah.
So the amount of significance
Right.
you have, the amount of input you have on the creative process isn't there. You just focus on your one little niche, you be good at that. So I mean, even as an actor, like, that's all you get to do is act. You
Right.
can see the other stuff that's happening around you. You can see the other stuff, right? You
Right.
know, like, who's on set. You might be making those connections and everything, but that's not what you're there for. You're there to do that one job. So
Right.
No, I totally get it. Like, I guess some of the pros I would say of going independent
Right.
is never having to bend, I guess, what you see as your art.
that
Right.
compromise, yeah.
Yes.
I guess one of the pros of going Hollywood is you can make, a lot of money real fast.
Yeah.
But I guess cons for both is
Depending on, because sometimes, what did my boy Bernie Mac say? He said you'll see the fame before you see the money. Fame will come quick, but that money takes forever to show up. You know what I'm saying?
I get that.
And-
But money from who?
Well,
Who do you think he was talking about when he's saying?
he's talking about the
money.
industry. Like, when you're in the Hollywood entertainment industry, you gotta get, like, you'll see the fan base first, but the money that you deserve to make in the industry, you gotta work up to.
But do you think it's like that independent? Like,
What?
independent, do you think, like, if you get that same fan base, like a Cat Williams or something? Because, I mean, I would look at him like he's mainstream, but he's also pretty, like, he's independent.
Right.
So, do you think he's making more as independent than he would?
Well, I mean, when we look at independence, it's all straight out of your pocket. So even though the fame is getting there, the money's coming right along with it, because whatever you make during that rise, it's more so yours than I gotta pay this person, I gotta pay that person, that comes out of pocket, this person, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with the Hollywood aspect of it, it's a lot of people handling your money.
Right.
First of all, who you getting paid by, right? The actual show you're on goes through different routes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The residual checks are broken down in percentages. So you're not, depending on your position on the show, is how you get paid.
Yep.
But if you're independent and it's your project, it's your work, it's your baby, then whatever comes in it, that's what you can take and invest and spend and put in certain aspects of it to create and build. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So, I mean, you know, that's the pro of being independent and the con of being in Hollywood. But also the pro of being Hollywood is that you get recognized a lot faster. You have a bigger outlet. You have more resources.
But you have
you
you have a
put
bigger
out there.
machine behind
Right.
you, Jay,
Exactly.
right?
I mean, yeah,
you
exactly.
have. Well, I guess that's why you said, Keisha. That's why you're a cog in that machine. So if you decide to implement yourself into that machine, you have to realize that you're just a part of something that's much bigger that you don't really have any control over.
Right.
Absolutely. It's one of the things that I even talk to when I'm training my students and working with different talent. I'm always talking to them about the fact you're probably going to be the last person to get paid when you want to
Right.
be the talent. Because there's so much on the production side that has to happen to make that show possible. Whereas if you were an independent, you understand all of that. Like, you were the one who was making all the connections to get the releases, to make sure that it is a good copy, to get it recorded, to get it produced, you know? All of that money and all of those steps, you've taken all of that on. And then when you finally get that final product out there, now you hope to be able to reap the benefits, to get the revenue and the reward from that.
Right. Right. And then another thing about the pros and cons that I also say is important is understanding when it comes to, I would say, the message that you want to portray in your work. When you're dealing with Hollywood, or mainstream, we should say,
Right.
you have to abide by certain formats, guidelines, rules. Whereas when you're independent, it's more freedom.
True.
We see that a lot in music.
Yeah.
A lot of music, you know, when you see these cats who aren't signed to a label and they doing their own, they have freedom. They always talk about, man, we was putting out our own shit, and then it was just off the chain. We did whatever we wanted to do, and then when they get with a label, it's, oh, you're not this enough,
That's
or you
not
need
your
to
market.
do that. Right.
Yeah.
So that's also another pro and con about being independent. You know what I'm saying, is that you get to actually do what you want to do. The only con is will it get to the masses enough, or will it affect enough people to where it'll actually be worth something later on, or make money later on, right?
It's a sacrifice you have to make at that point. Like, you're making a sacrifice for the art, over the, I guess, like the money,
right?
You know, the money or the fame.
But understand, and that's the thing, like, know what you're asking for. You can't say you want to be mainstream, but then get mad that you actually have to follow the direction of the stream.
Right.
Like, you wanted to jump into the river and then act like you could change the current. That's not how that works.
Yo, Keith, I think you went on Monique one time talking about that.
Yeah.
She need to sit her ass down. She getting it right. But, I mean, we were joking, but it's one of those things like, what did you expect? If you're at a certain level and you're getting accolades and awards, you really think now is a time where you have to be fighting for what you believe in? It's like, come on.
Well, fighting for close to equal pay. Like, it's a realistic thing that there are pay disparities in Hollywood for women, for underrepresented minorities. It's a given, you know? So if you're talking about from an independent side, if you are not part of the mainstream, then you don't have to worry about as much of that, because you know your fan base, you know your audience, you can direct your project and your product directly to them.
Right.
But in mainstream, they're looking to literally service the masses, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, they're talking about, okay, so this is the niche, this is the market that we see you in, and that's who we should market to. But what if that's not the market you want to market to?
Right.
You know, you're
That's
not
true.
in control of
I guess
your
that
product.
brings us back to what you were saying, DJ, which is, what is the message that you want to put out?
Right.
Yeah.
Is your message more important
who's
than
it
your
for?
bank account?
And are you willing to struggle for a long time to get that message across?
Or forever. Like,
Or
let's be
forever,
honest.
yes.
Everybody doesn't, quote unquote, make it.
That's
so
right.
if you have not, and I always say this also, like, you have to define success for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you being a creative and being an artist are looking at success purely on the number of people who know your name and the number of zeros you have in your account,
Right.
then that could be really difficult.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Definitely.
at least in my opinion. For
Right.
some, that's
Definitely.
what it is. You know, you want to. Of course, I get a metric balance saying,
Right.
okay, so these
Right.
numbers define where I'm at and
Right.
how much I've accomplished.
Exactly.
Or does it? Because if you just have listeners who truly understand your music or your product, whatever that project is, who understand it, who embrace it, and who love it, is that enough? What if
Right.
you never got paid for that work?
Yes. You know, it's funny because when you hear people say, I became this artist because I want to leave a legacy. But what
Yeah.
if a legacy don't cost nothing,
No, it doesn't.
right? A
It
legacy
doesn't.
don't cost anything because it's all about getting the message out there and making the message impactful.
Right.
But we do have to eat, we do have to live, so we understand there's a certain type of income that you want to bring in. But at the end of the day, that's the thing we have to understand about being an independent artist. Is the fact is, it's like, I just want to be comfortable. Because let's be real, at a certain level, as an independent artist, you're going to have mainstream industry interested in you. Because you are such a big commodity that we want you to come be a part of us because we can get your crowd even bigger.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it's at a point of when is enough enough?
So like that whole Facebook coming in and picking up Instagram or
Right.
a smaller company, that happens all the time. You know,
Right.
now that you've finally established yourself as it, or making it so simple as to what, like the number of views or the number of followers you get, likes and all of that. Like now you hit a certain metric. What is it? Like 10,000, or if you get a million. You know, 100,000, 100,000, like
Yeah.
that dictates now we'll pay you because now you're on our radar. Like,
Right.
now you have a product worth bringing to us.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
I kind of look at even Kevin Hart being a person who markets his business through Instagram, and he used online methods to do that. That
Well,
gave him better buying power,
I don't know.
I would say,
I don't
in
know.
mainstream.
Uh-oh,
I
here
don't
we
know.
go, Keith.
I don't know, Keisha. I don't know.
I know you don't like him, but come on, what you got? What you got?
I do not want that energy out there. I have no problem with Kevin Hart. I think he's a very funny, talented
Right.
man. I just said his shit is not rewatchable.
Right.
We already discussed this.
Fine,
Anyways,
fine.
I wouldn't say that Kevin Hart got his break off the internet.
I'm
Kevin
not saying
Hart,
he got
he's
his
a-
break off the internet.
Well, I mean, do you think he? I mean, I don't think really.
I think
I don't
what
think
happened
he,
is
he probably makes money off the internet, but he got his money from
I was gonna
doing
say he's
stand-up.
been in the industry for a while.
A long
I think
time.
what made
He
it
was on
pop
Def Comedy
was,
Channel.
right. I think what made it pop is that he found a avenue with the social media
Definitely.
Yes.
networking that helped skyrocket him
Well,
there.
again, what I'm actually saying as far as like the correlation of the two, just like you said, he was on Def Jam. Just like you
Right.
said, DJ. You know, he already had a following. Then he transitioned that metrically into something that they can make tangibly monetarily.
Right.
So when he's on a project and he has all of his social media and he's got millions and millions of followers,
Yeah.
mainstream can say, I'm gonna hire you because you come with all of these other
Oh,
people
yeah.
in your network compared
Definitely.
to
Ads, all that.
Yeah.
anybody who doesn't have that same kind of
Yeah.
Right.
following. You know, so you can be an independent artist who has a lot of followers and people who pay attention to you in your market. But if I'm looking for a black comedian in this instance, since we're talking about Kevin Hart, you know, am I gonna take Kevin Hart? Or am I going to take you, who I might think is funnier and has the potential, but you ain't got nobody behind you?
right.
Thank you for not saying, or am I gonna take Keith Vance?
I'm not going to lie. I was looking at you like,
You were.
or,
You looked right at me
or
when you
Keith.
said that, but you didn't, and I
Because he's
appreciate
not there
that.
yet. You know,
I look
it's
to
your
the wall.
birthday. I'm trying to
working
show
on
you
it.
love. Showing you
Well,
love.
I mean, okay. Let me ask you this then: with the whole independent versus Hollywood or the mainstream, do you think at this point in time, like, you don't have a choice? You have to have a social media presence. At
I
this
think
point in
so.
time?
I think we're at a point now where I think the old school way is no longer when it comes to how to build your market or to build your persona or however you want to look at it.
Right.
I remember when I started over a long time ago, but
Right.
but when I started, I remember my first agent was like, "Don't do reality." You know, no, that'll kill your career, because at the time, if you were called a real actor doing reality, it was a bad thing. Now,
Right.
they'll tell you, oh, if you get that, yeah, do it. Because once reality started making $1 million for appearances and making money just to be seen.
Right,
It
right.
changed the game because reality became the thing. So now with this social media thing is people want to know what you're doing right now at this
So
moment,
nosy.
point in time in the world.
So
What are
nosy.
you doing? And then why is it so juicy? Because they just want to know everything. They want to. It's like microwave now. It's now they want entertainment like the microwave. They want it fast, quick, and in a hurry. And then they want something new all the time. They don't want the same stuff over and over because now it's opportunities to have it right in front of your face. So now it's changed because now, even with agencies and managers, now it's about how many followers do you have?
In addition to
Yes.
your talent.
Yes, in addition to your talent. How many followers do you have? If you have enough followers, oh, yeah, we want you because you already have a market. Because whoever is going to hire you is looking at you not because you're just talented. They're like, they can bring extra faces to the show.
Right.
But I don't like the idea that now followers can outweigh talent.
I hate it too.
Because I'm
Keisha.
like, so
I hate
Wow.
it
so
too.
you could
It's
not
real.
be talented but have enough family, friends,
Yes.
and people like following you that an agent's gonna pick you up, knowing that you really don't have any skill set, but at least you got those followers.
Crazy. So now, because it's that whole thing, it's not what you
Mainstream.
know, it's who you know. I hate
That really,
saying.
yo,
in the
that
business.
you
really
don't know
changes
It's
the
not
game.
what you know,
I
it's who
mean,
you know.
whatever.
That
So you
changes
mean
the
to tell me
game.
because he's my cousin or he's my brother, he's this and that,
Right.
that they got rights over this because you want to keep it in house? That's not fair. I can out act this person, I can out sing this person, I can out dance this person, but because they're closer connected to your circle, come on, man. So that's another pro and con of the business.
But what Keisha's saying is like you don't even have to know me. Like you could just out act me, out dance me, out sing me, and I've got
Followers.
2.4 million followers, and you've got 13,000.
And I'll take it.
And they're like, we're gonna go with him,
Right.
Because he's
Yeah.
got 2.4 million.
It's
Wow.
what it's about. It's what it's about. It's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, that is
It's
true.
sad.
And
That's
I
what
mean,
they-
so even now, I was like, even now with COVID-19 and people being in the house a whole lot more and watching and streaming so much for one, watching so much for two, like how defining is this moment for the industry? And I would say such a big win for the independent sector.
Right.
Because mainstream had to shut down.
Right.
Because they were such, a machine.
Yeah.
There's no way that they can produce at the caliber that they're expected to in this market. You can have a $2.5 million budget.
Right.
But right now you can't staff anybody from the union because the union can't work right now.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
So
true.
You
That's
put all that together. You're
That's
going to
crazy.
have the biggest budget in the world and
Yeah.
can't do nothing with it right now.
Right.
And so now you see all of those high-end
Yeah.
performers and talent and celebrities resulting to what ordinary people have been doing. Keith, you've been talking about that, right?
I talked about it a lot
celebrities being
because-
on Instagram and
Well, I mean, I think the internet is, I
Facebook,
think it's
yeah.
very unfair. Like, I know a lot of comedians that, don't really respect some comics because of how they got their break. Like
Really?
I've seen that.
like the DC Young Flies and some of these other really talented
Right.
young brothers that are, they got their break from Vines. Or they
Yeah.
got their break from YouTube.
They grinded for that, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
Whether you look at it or not. They
Those little
grinded for that.
videos they were
Yeah.
editing,
Yeah,
I mean,
they put work into that.
And comedians looked at them like because they weren't on the road actually going and doing comedy clubs that they
You
didn't
didn't pay your
deserve the
dues.
break they
Wow.
got. And I don't think that at all. Like just because
Right.
the way the world is now, that kid was able to sit in a laundry room and do something funny. Now
Yeah.
he's on.
And
You
he
can't-
used the resources he's got. Like, what's
Exactly.
so wrong with that? Guess what? You
Exactly.
started somewhere.
I was
You
going to
didn't
say,
want
there was a
somebody-
time you didn't even have TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were people that was going just to straight clubs just to
Yep.
make money, and then TV comes along. Now you on there like, oh, they didn't put their work in like we did. So every generation is gonna have it.
Well, I mean, even when TV, you still had to hit that road. See, that's the thing about comedy, and even with music, I would say you have to hit that road.
Right.
I don't know if is it like that with acting
gotta
too.
tour.
Like you
No.
got to kind of hit that.
Not really.
You just have to get-
you do press junkets.
Right.
Right.
Well, I
But
mean, it
that's-
depends on what kind of actor you're being.
A traveling actor.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what type of actor you're being looked as.
I guess I'm always thinking film for
Right.
the sake of the fact we're talking about independent. But yeah,
Right.
you got
Because even
theater.
theater, yeah. If
Theater?
Theater actor will get more. Like, this is what my teacher used to always say. He said, if we go into an audition and you're a film actor and I'm a thespian, you're going to get the first one. But I guarantee you every audition after that, I'm going to kill you. Because all it takes is just one time for me to get it. And because of theater in my blood, I can pick up direction and take from there. Whereas
Yeah.
you're only one dimensional. You're only a film.
You're very
actor.
scripted.
Right.
Yep.
Because I have to
So
say
he said,
that's the
after that,
biggest. I
I'ma
mean,
get
there's a
you.
script in theater as well, but it's much different
Yeah.
Oh,
than
yeah.
acting. Because
Yeah.
like, you know, acting is more of, you know, cut 300,
Right.
400 takes, you know,
Right.
with
And
theater.
editing.
Right.
Theater is I mean, it's memorizing in both.
Yeah.
But really in theater,
It's live.
Yeah.
once the
It's
play
live.
starts,
It's work.
there is no cut.
Right.
There is
Yep.
no I forgot.
You know
There
what I'm saying?
is
not.
you
The
better
show
know how
must
to
Yeah.
go
on.
Exactly. And
No
after
matter
5
what.
shows back to back to back, on the 6th day, you better come with it like you came with it the first day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
It's
Yep.
that's serious.
Because we're still selling tickets.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Especially when them tickets are sold.
So now, another question I have for you guys is, with dealing with Hollywood versus independence, who benefits? Like, who really benefits when choosing the avenues that we go through? So if we choose to be an independent artist, what are the benefits that outweigh being a Hollywood artist, and then vice versa? Are there some that are benefits to being a mainstream artist that independents can't deal with or can't have?
I would say anonymity.
Ooh.
One of the benefits of being an independent artist is that people can know your talent, they can know your skill, they know of you, but they're not trying to get to know you.
Right.
It's like I appreciate your talent. I love seeing you in that one thing that I saw you in, and that's cool. You know, it
Right.
can be a great play. Like, a lot of people don't go around recognizing Broadway actors and actresses unless they've done film.
Exactly.
Right? And when you become a true celebrity, now people not only want to know your work, you always have to keep up that level of performance. You
Right.
always have to be on. You can never be off. Every interview has to be right. Then now we've talked about already the social media aspect. You don't get the ability to really be anonymous like that.
That's true.
I don't think. I mean, I don't want to go back to monetary with it, but I guess like, who really benefits in being a independent artist? I would say the artist, because the main thing about art is if you just refuse to bend on your art, I think that you're happier at the end, whether if you make millions or not, as long as like you do get to get your message out. Like, a guy I really like, Little Dicky. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah.
I love that dude because his art he never bent on. He never bent on it. He
Right.
did it himself.
And look, he got his own show now.
He does have a show. Have you seen it?
I saw a little bit of
It's
it. Hilarious.
it's a dope show. Shout
Yeah.
out Lil Dicky, man. You're dope peoples. But I mean, like I like that dude because he's very unorthodox. You know, he's not what I guess what hip hop would say is rap. You know,
Right.
he's from the suburbs. He's like this Jewish dude. I don't know if he's Jewish or whatever he is, but
yeah.
he looks like he's a white boy anyways. But he doesn't, you know, he's a dope rapper. Like he has bars.
Yeah.
So it's like for him to show the world that you can do it independently and you don't have to bend. Like he can, if he wants to talk about the whole time he's got a small dick, he's like, I don't care what anyone says. This is the way I know. That's what.
That's real, yeah.
That's what he's about.
Yeah.
He's about
Yeah.
his small dick, and I'm like, all right, dude, if that's what you want to do, and like, I like on the show, I'm not, you know, I don't want to give no spoilers about his show or nothing, but on the show he talks about that a lot, about how the industry, you know, as he started getting into it, into that mainstream that we're talking about,
Right.
how he literally had to walk away from some things,
Right.
because it was like, this is what I'm doing. This is my
Right.
art. I'm not going to change it. I'm not going
Right.
to alter it. If you don't like it, then, you know, I don't care.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, but the money. And I think that's the thing that kills most artists is, you know, you're sitting there eating ramen noodle. You know, you don't know how you're going to, you know, make
Right.
it to the next week.
You'll do what you got to do to
Someone's
get that.
like, here's 50
Right.
G's, but
Yeah.
you just, you know, you can't say it like that. You have to
Right.
say it like this and make sure you put these certain words right here, and then we'll give you the 50,000.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
it's a hard decision.
It's a hard decision. And the one thing that I say, the only thing that you can really see benefiting mainly in mainstream is the right connections, the quality of work, because you're dealing with a $1 billion business that
Right.
can make amazing looks, amazing features. The benefits of being there is the connections that you'll get, the
Oh,
places
yes.
you'll go,
the work you'll get.
the work you'll get.
Yeah.
But what price is it if you're a real artist who cares about craft, who cares about respect, who cares about having privacy?
Do you think that
Yes.
brings us down to the individual at that point.
It always does.
Forget the mainstream
does.
or the independent. It literally comes down to the artist at that point. Would you say?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
It does. Because it's the knowledge. That's why we say always learn the game, because it's the knowledge that you learn. You know, whether you decide to go independent or decide to deal with mainstream, it's on you. But at the end of the day, you have to make a choice to say, is this what I'm going to feel comfortable? Am I going to be able to look at myself in the mirror when it's all said and done and be happy with what I did and the choices I made? Because at the end of the day, you can go down the independent road and then years later say, why the fuck didn't I take that contract?
Yeah.
Right?
Because you're working so hard. You realize it's all on
true.
you. It's all on you. All the risk is on you. All the productivity is on you. Like, if it's success or failure, that's all on you when you're independent. And sometimes it's a whole lot easier. I mean, that's why a lot of people are always aspiring to get a manager, to get an agent, to make things easier. You're like, look, I just want to focus on the craft.
Right.
I'm tired of having to do everything else and also perform.
Yeah.
Right?
That is the hardest shit
That's like
ever.
the hardest thing. Like, I was like, I just had to argue with you about whether you were going to pay me for the show. So now I got to determine if I'm going to do the show or not.
Right. And then I got to get my mind right for the show, because I've been dealing with this before the show.
It's like, you motherfucker. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Let's go ahead and get this started. Like, you have to be able to turn it on and turn it off. Like, not even imagine, like the emotional roller coaster that you have to go through, I would say, from an independent artist. I was like having to fire people because they don't show up on time and you can't do what you said you were going to do.
I've had to fire people. It's not a fun, pleasant thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I've been there plenty of times.
You're like, this isn't going to work.
I know what y'all are talking
and then
about.
had to security escort them out just in case they get a little funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a hard thing to do, but I mean, like, it can be fun and ha-ha because it's something we love, but in the same thing, it's still business.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you are a business, all right? You are a business, you are a brand, and it's all about making right choices for you, your family, and your legacy in the end, okay? All right, well, thank you for joining us for our hot topic of the day. All right, up next, Keith with that reel. Stay tuned.
What's up, y'all? This your boy Keith with that real spill. You know I want to hear back from you. Hit us up at WTDTY Global on Facebook.com.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
Podcast.
I don't like that shit. For sure, bro. I don't like that shit.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Keith Vance with that real spill. Now, today, I want to talk about a few things with all of my listeners and everybody that's been checking us out here on the What They Don't Tell You podcast. And today, my topic for the real spill is the heartbreak of the industry. Now, this is something that I want to talk to DJ and Keisha, as well as all of our listeners out there. The heartbreak of the industry is something that's so real and something that every artist, I would have to say, deals with. Because the one thing about this industry is you gotta have thick skin. You have to be prepared to hear the words no. So what I'm gonna do right quick, DJ, is let me tell you guys one of my biggest heartbreaks in this industry.
Okay.
Talk about it.
I'm ready.
When
Story time.
when the industry
You want the
just
violins?
when
Background music.
when the industry just it stabbed me in the heart, and I was like
Right.
I've been doing comedy probably 2.5, 3 years at this point. I felt like I was getting good at it. I had a stage presence, you know what I'm saying? I'd already done my whole rap thing. I had like a real presence. And let me tell you, dude, I'm up there on stage and dead silence for an entire 7.5 minutes.
So
Now
every joke.
Now
You heard all the
I've been
crickets.
booed.
Yeah.
I've been booed more than one time. I've actually been booed in the beginning of my career. I've been booed for sure, like booed. But then I've also been dead silenced. And what I can say is it was heartbreaking, everyone. Dead silence is much, much worse than booing, because booing
It's like a slight cut.
I mean, I'm
slow wound.
getting a reaction with a boo.
Right.
They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
shut up,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
suck, get your ass out of here."
Right.
Dead silence. Everyone was just looking at me, DJ, like, "Bruh, you fucking suck. This is horrible.
Wow.
Like, this is fucking horrible, and we don't like you. We don't like what you're saying. Like, we just don't like you."
Right.
And it broke me, dude. Like, it was devastating.
Yeah, just shit pushed in.
So,
Wow.
you ever had your shit pushed in? Yo, pause that. Pause that, G. Pause that.
Sorry.
Bring it back.
But I guess I wanna ask you, DJ. I wanna ask you, Keisha. We'll go with you first, Keisha. What if it's ever happened? What was a heartbreak for you in the industry?
Let's see. I was like, I'd probably say the heartbreak for me is getting fired from a show. So being part of a fashion show, and we're at the rehearsal, and first of all, people were getting let go for not being on time. They're like, when show starts, when rehearsal starts. But this is when I was in college, so I had been working my job. I had done class all day. I had ran from one end of the campus to get food to the other end to get to the rehearsal.
Damn.
And I was sitting in the corner eating my baked chicken and mashed potatoes.
I bet that shit was
and
good.
green. It was so good. It was so good. But I can still
She
this
still
plate
tastes it.
was
Right.
like a $7 plate. Like
Yeah.
you
Right.
you saved up you put your money together to get it. I
Right.
had eaten all day, and I
Right.
was sitting in the corner eating. And I remember like a designer came in, and the producers of the show huddled together, and I saw like one person had their back to me and then like pointed at me with like their thumb, and I was
Right.
like, huh.
Damn, now
So
that's
I'm sitting there holding
that's
like my
some
chicken
cold
wings,
shit.
and then somebody came over, and I heard someone say, "Who is that?" And I'm all over there waving with my greasy fingers,
Damn.
and them just being like, "Hey, real quick, if you could just grab your stuff, yeah, just come this way."
Oh,
And then that was
You're fired.
that was a wrap.
ouch.
But I
Wow.
mean, at least they let me take my food.
That
Hey.
sucks. So DJ.
I got there. I'm ready.
DJ, are you
What you
ready?
got, DJ?
So
What you got?
tell me when the industry stabs you in your heart.
Boy, I got Craig from Friday. I got fired on my day off, dog.
Damn.
I'm on vacation.
Damn.
I'm on vacation. I get a call. Yeah, they're not gonna ask for you to come back. Do you know what happened? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm on vacation. How am I supposed
They
to know
said,
what happened?
"Do you know what
Do you know?
happened?"
I mean, do you have any reason that I don't know? Do they know
Damn.
something?
Do you
Well,
know more than what happened?
That was it.
Did you ever find out
Man.
what happened though?
No, well, here's the thing. It was. I'll
What had
tell it
happened
real talk.
was-
Sleepy
okay.
Hollow.
Okay.
Sleepy Hollow. I got fired on my day off. I was on vacation, doing it big, spending money.
Right, getting to it.
You know what I'm saying?
Getting to
Out of
it.
town. I ain't gonna tell y'all where I was with. I ain't gonna tell you where I was
Right.
at. But I was somewhere doing it big,
Right,
right?
getting to it.
Other
Okay.
celebrities was there. We was having a good time. I paid for like 3 people. I was balling, like flights, everything.
Wow.
Money was looking good.
That's that
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow money.
You know what I'm saying? I thought I was getting a check again.
Right.
You know? No.
Yeah. Fire.
Nah, end up coming home. The first week I came home, and they was like, "Yo, you're actually." My manager called me, said you're actually, or agency called me and said they're actually done. They're not going to renew your contract. And I was like, okay.
Damn.
But I kind of had the feeling it was going to happen because we were having issues. The costume department and the execs were having issues because they weren't really taking heed to the issues that I was having with the costume, or the fact that we couldn't get the time to perfect it because
Right.
they were just rushing us for shooting.
No, I
So
get
there
it.
was
I
a
get
lot
it.
of feedback, a lot of hatred, a lot of me passing out because of just hardship of,
A lot of heartbreak
you know
from
what I'm
the
saying?
industry.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You ain't
Yeah.
get it yet, boy. You gotta get right. So
You
No, I
said
get it, I get it.
passing out, like so
Yeah.
you're performing
Oh, yeah.
to the past
Exactly.
the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's dangerous.
Oh,
For
yeah.
sure. So
Costume
you
work.
guys, I appreciate what you guys have told me today, and what I can see is that y'all both have made it through your heartbreak in the
Yes.
industry.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I guess that's the point that I want to get to today on that real spill with your boy Keith. You know, you got to be tough to do this.
Yeah.
You gotta really want it. If
Yeah.
you don't want it, I promise you're not gonna get it. It's not gonna come to you because you're gonna hear no more than once. So if
right.
you
Yeah.
want it, go get it, and it's yours. That's that real spill with your boy Keith Vance. Beast Squad.
like that Diddy song said, F the old industry. They're trying to get rid of me.
Off the Tina, dog. You already know, man.
Yo, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
Podcast.
All right, guys, we want to thank you for joining us for another episode. It was a great episode today. We want to thank you guys for joining us on Live 365 Anthem Tongue Radio. You can catch us Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. on the East Coast, 8 a.m. on the West Coast, and 6 p.m. international. All right, we want to thank the viewers overseas, USA,
Croatia,
UK,
Australia,
Hong Kong,
Russian Federation,
Italy,
France,
Senegal,
Netherlands,
Sweden,
Japan,
Germany,
Spain,
Denmark,
Slovakia,
Mexico,
South Africa,
Canada.
Saudi Arabia. Thank
Thank
you
you
for listening.
All right, guys. Until next time, we catch you later. We are your hosts, DJ Mifflin,
Keisha Williams,
and Keith Vance,
and we are the B Squad.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
What they don't tell you.
Podcast.
Real news about real topics. That's what I like about this show.
Or mode for the most sincerest expression.
So it's truth and jest. I pride myself on saying real
What they don't tell you podcast.
People don't even notice I'm saying.
I'm just using your gifts as a vehicle